So have you seen the protest and heard the crazy story of the young man who just had his life taken by police while he was asleep in the drive-thru of a McDonald's?
Are you serious?
So yes, this happened to a man named Justin Robinson, and right now this is a big story out of DC. Now what is crazy is, and we're gonna go through the video because the police just released the body cam footage, but what is crazy is that this is not the first time that this has happened. There was another man named Rayshard Brooks who had his life taken in Atlanta, and remember that happened at the Wendy's, and if I believe correctly, they ended up burning that Wendy's down. That was during the protest kind of around like the George Floyd time, and that was a terrible story. And then years before that, because I remember covering it, there was another story that is almost identical that happened to another man about 5 years ago who was a rapper named Willie McCoy, and he got shot by police while he was asleep again in a drive-thru at Taco Bell, and he had his gun in his lap.
My goodness.
Now, the Willie McCoy and the Justin Robinson stories are very, very similar. They both literally fell asleep in a drive-thru with a gun in their lap. Police come up. Basically, they wake up and end up getting lives taken by the police. I haven't seen the video. I haven't watched the breakdown. This is going to be a fresh reaction. We're going to watch it, and then the guys in the comments, ladies in the comments, let us know if you feel like this is justified, if this could have been avoided. But from what I understand, people are very pissed. The family is angry. The city is going crazy, and we're going to find out why.
Guys, the family of Justin Robinson, they changed their mind this past Saturday. They say they want the public to see the moment their son was shot and killed by two DC police officers who are now on administrative leave. Now, initially, the family's concern was that parts of this body camera footage would be redacted or edited out. But Chief Pamela Smith made clear tonight that they only redact certain parts by law. So this is faces of EMS fire personnel, bystanders, and witnesses. It's important to note that what you're about to watch or hear may be disturbing for some.
Suspect has a firearm in his lap. Hey.
This is video of a D.C. police officer responding to the McDonald on Marion Barry Avenue on Sunday, September 1st, after a call came in about a crash around 5:30 in the morning.
The back window's down. I could reach in and unlock the door.
Police say the man in the car, Justin Robinson, was unconscious with a gun in his lap. An officer called for backup. They cleared the area of the drive-thru and then used their patrol cruisers to box in the car Justin Robinson was inside of. Chief Pamela Smith says as officers, including a supervisor who was on the scene, were strategizing how to respond, they noticed movement in the car.
Oh, we got movement.
Officers approached the driver's side of Robinson's white sedan.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Sorry, don't touch the gun!
And seconds later, 11 rounds were fired. 10 rounds from one officer and a single one from the second. In a different angle from the passenger side, you can see the shooting in slow motion.
The officer has his weapon in the window of the driver's side of the vehicle. The individual reaches up, he's grabbing the officer's weapon. And what you will see is there is an exchange of words, and the officer disengages, discharges his firearm, and what you will see is the individual's firearm that is dropped from his left hand onto his lap.
Robinson died on the scene since the
Now, I want to make it clear that Mr. Robinson was not a criminal. He was not a bad guy. Actually, he was a violence interrupter. His whole job in the community was stopping violence. So, according to Google, a violence interrupter, also known as a street soldier or neighborhood change agent, are community members who help reduce violence by intervening in conflicts and building safer communities. So, again, this guy is someone that would try to talk that kid from out of joining that gang or stop these guys from fighting and killing each other. And I mean, this is the thing. Is that a nasty situation? Yes. I don't understand the logic and how they handle that situation, because this is the thing, and this is the reason why, like, yes, should you be falling asleep in a drive-thru with a gun in your lap? No, that should not be happening. But this is the thing. Police officers do not come out, and they're not called, and really any emergency services person is not called to come meet you on your best day. Most of the time you're dealing, 99% of the time, you're probably dealing with someone in either their worst day or on the worst part of their day. You are here to make their day worse, usually. So what I'm trying to say is you should have more grace. And this is when it goes back to like perceived level of danger based on your race. Because if Billy Bob with his shotgun fell asleep in his truck with a few beer cans around him, and you see Billy Bob, and when you look at Billy Bob, you don't see a gangster, you don't see a thug, you don't see a criminal, you see your uncle, you see your granddad who you done watched passed out in the front in his truck with his gun. his backseat a million times. If you saw him and saw him as a person and not as a threat, you would handle him differently. And so I don't understand why these cops are surrounding this person like with this perceived idea of something dangerous when you know the man. It looks like he fell asleep. Like you don't go to commit a crime and then fall asleep in the middle of it if that's what you came here to do. Right. It does not seem like that's what happened. It seemed like he fell asleep. Now I understand that he grabbed his weapon and that, scared the police, but also he's waking up and you're shoving guns in his face and yelling. He probably was completely confused. And also it's nighttime. Yeah. So if you know that, why not everybody back off? There's no one in the way. There's no one that can get hurt. You have him pinned down. There's guns everywhere. And also y'all all crossing each other. Even tactically, this seemed like a bad idea. I just don't know why they handled it this way. And I understand how dangerous a firearm can be, but I don't understand like what they thought was going to happen when he woke up. Like, did they think he was going to wake up and just become like some violent monster out of the blue? Like, that's what I'm confused about.
And then it stated like the reports was a crash happened, not a happened or altercation happened. So there was nothing like being reported that this person was irate or anything like that. Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure the crash was from him probably like falling asleep and rolling into the drive-thru, rolling to the person behind him.
The community, including members of Robinson's family, have been calling for justice, transparency, and questioning police use of force.
They came as if he had already committed a crime.
Chief Smith says any life lost is a tragedy. When asked if she thought if the shooting was justified, she says,
what I would like to be able to do is wait for the results of the investigation to come back.
And also, that is a very good point. I mean, I guess at that point you're breaking the law, but at that point he's done nothing for this to become what you guys are making it. Like, he hasn't done anything, like falling asleep in the drive-thru. And see, that's the other thing. They had already controlled and cleared the complete area. You saw how many cops they had out there. They had blocked the car. And look, I think those were all appropriate precautions. But I'm guessing you are handling the situation like that so you can have the space to make sure that it's a safe environment. And so that even the person that you're about to make contact with, doesn't get hurt. Like, that's what you should be thinking. But it didn't seem like that was on their mind
at all. And then like, it seems like their line of sight was a little bit off too. Like, they didn't know if he was how you know he wasn't trying to commit. How do you know he was even alive? Like, y'all didn't even assess the full situation that way. Like, it's just a man in the car with a firearm in his lap. Apparently seemed to be knocked out.
So the crazy part is they've been having protests.
These 7 people are in custody after a protest in Southeast D.C. turned violent overnight. And that protest was to honor Justin Robinson, the 26-year-old violence interrupter killed an officer involved.
There were 7 people arrested during the protest. But again, the crazy thing is I have seen this before. I was having deja vu this morning because I know that I had seen this video. And I'm like, is this an old video that I watched before? Or like, and then it's resurfacing. They just releasing the body cam footage. Like, I was trying to figure out what it was. And then I started searching and I found this. Willie McCoy, who is a rapper that fell asleep at a Taco Bell drive-thru, and literally the exact same thing happens to him. It's almost scary how similar the videos are, because I knew that I had watched this video before. I knew I wasn't tripping, and then here it is.
That's crazy.
So again, guys, I want to make it clear, this is not the video we just watched. This is a totally different video.
Cover down that way. Door looks open. I'm gonna pull him out and snatch his ass. I don't even want to give him a chance. Is this unlocked? It looks unlocked. You want to test it? What are you thinking?
I'm going to go in there, I'm going to grab that gun.
And then I'll yank him out.
If he reaches for it.
Yep. That's my clear?
Okay, this car's in drive.
Okay.
So.
You got that, Patrick? Car's in drive.
You going to try and grab the gun?
This is fucked.
It's locked.
Now, literally, he starts to wake up, just like Justin. They start screaming. They have lights and guns in his face, and they just take his life too.
He's moving. He's not up yet.
Dude just scratching his arm.
Yeah, can we knock on the car? Oh. a chance.
I'm not trying to bury the cops or nothing and say that they're just the worst people in the world or whatever. All I'm saying is there had to be a better way to handle that. There has to be a better way to handle these things. I'm not saying that people shouldn't take responsibility for their own actions, but that didn't have to go down that way. And, fall asleep in the drive-thru was not grounds for an execution. And even if you have a gun, if you've done nothing wrong with that firearm. So, I mean, when they keep acting like people aren't going to be scared or shaken up when you come at them with, firearm with you, I just don't understand why we don't back up and try to, speak to them from a distance. But, this seems to be the way police are going to go about this. So I guess, you should be careful. But we'll see what happens with these protests, as they evolve. I think the entire thing is sick, and there has to be better policing, and there has to be better procedures put in place for situations like this. But we'll keep you updated as we get more information and as the family fights for justice.